Okay, let's dive right in. We are about to crack the code on what is, let's be honest, one of the biggest sources of stress for any student, the CBSE board exams. But here's the thing, this isn't about studying harder, it's about studying smarter. In this explainer, we're going to give you the actual blueprint that can turn all that exam anxiety into some serious exam confidence.
Does this sound familiar? I mean, you put in the hours, you feel like you know the material inside and out, but when those results come back, there's this frustrating gap between the effort you put in and the score you got. It's probably one of the most common feelings for students. But here's the good news. You're probably not missing knowledge. You're just missing this strategy.
And that right there, that's the big secret we're unpacking today. Scoring high in your CBSE exams isn't just a memory test. You've got to think of it like a game with a very specific set of rules. And once you understand that blueprint, how the papers are actually designed, how they're checked, and what the examiners are really looking for, it'll completely change your approach. So first things first, let's actually decode this blueprint. Before you can win any game, you have to know how the points are scored, right? And you'll see it's surprisingly simple. Okay, so for all you Class 10 students, your final score is basically an 80-20 split. 80% of it, the big chunk, comes from that main theory exam you write. But, and this is so important, a crucial 20% is decided before you even walk into that exam hall. That's your internal assessment. Things like your periodic tests, notebook submissions, all that stuff. Do not neglect that 20%. Now for Class 12, things get a little more varied depending on your stream. If you're in science, with subjects like physics and chemistry, your practicals carry a massive 30% weightage. That's huge. For maths and commerce, it's more like the Class 10 model, with an 80-20 split for theory and project work. Just knowing this helps you figure out where to put your energy during the year. And here it is, the baseline, the magic number you've probably heard a million times, 33%. You need that in each subject, and you need it overall to pass. But listen, don't think of this as the goal. Think of it as the launch pad. This is where we start, and from here, we're aiming for that 90-plus club. All right, now listen up. If you only remember one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. This is, without a doubt, the single most important rule in the entire CBSE evaluation process. It's called the step marking system. So what on earth does that mean? It means your final answer is only one piece of the puzzle. The examiner is literally trained to give you credit for every single correct step you take along the way. This is an absolute game changer, because it means you can still get marks even if you mess up the final result. Let's make this super simple. Imagine a math problem. Just writing down the correct formula? Boom, that could be 1 mark. Plugging in the numbers correctly? That's another mark. The final calculation is just the last part. So please, never, ever leave a question blank just because you're not sure about the final answer. You have to show your work. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is a direct quote from the official guidelines that CBSE gives to its examiners. They are told, flat out, that step marking is the most important rule. So what's the takeaway? Every single step counts. Okay, so now we get the rules of the game, but how do we actually play to win? Let's get into the practical playbook for writing answers that are just designed to get you the maximum possible marks. Presentation isn't just about being neat for the sake of it. It's about making the examiner's job easier. Think about it. A clean, readable answer sheet with good spacing and underlined keywords makes it incredibly easy for them to spot your points and give you the marks you deserve. A happy examiner is, trust me, a generous examiner. Now, this is so important. We'll call it the keyword rule. Examiners have a marking scheme with what they call value points, which are basically just keywords. They're literally scanning your paper for these specific words. So a long, rambling paragraph might just get skimmed over, but a crisp sentence with that exact keyword, that's what gets you the score. Your job is to make those keywords impossible to miss. And this right here is your guide on how to structure your answers. Please don't write an entire essay for a 1-mark question. And definitely don't write a single sentence for a 5-marker. You have to use the marks as your guide. A 5-mark question needs that solid structure. Give a definition, explain it, and then throw in an example or a diagram. That's the formula. So, while these rules are great for everything, different subjects have their own little quirks, right? Let's just do a quick fire round of some key subject-specific strategies you need to know. For math, like we've been saying, steps are king, and don't you dare forget your units. In science, you've got to use the correct scientific terms. Don't just describe something, use its proper name. And diagrams? They're basically a goldmine for easy marks. For social science, examiners want the exact points from the textbook, not your own stories, so use headings to make them clear. And for English, remember it's always a balance between what you say, using the right format, and of course your grammar.
All right, now for the really fun part. Beyond all the official stuff, there are some unwritten rules that examiners tend to follow. Knowing these can give you a real insider's advantage. This one is huge. So many of us think that writing more, filling the page, will somehow get us more marks. It will not. In fact, it can just annoy an examiner who's trying to find your actual points. You've got to stick to what's asked. It's quality over quantity every single time.
Okay, this one might seem a little unfair, but it's just human nature. If an examiner is struggling to read your handwriting, or they can't even tell where one answer ends and the next one begins, they might even subconsciously mark you a little bit harder. So cleanliness and clarity, they're not optional, they're crucial. And this really brings everything back full circle. The absolute fastest path to getting full marks is to give the examiner exactly what their marking scheme is asking for. No fluff, no long-winded introductions, just the key points, the right keywords, and the correct steps. It's all about precision.
So, we've decoded the blueprint, we've learned the rules, we've even uncovered some of the hidden secrets. Now let's put it all together into one simple, powerful formula that you can take with you.
And there it is, your golden formula. Your final score really is a function of these 4 things. Did you hit the right keywords? Did you show your steps? Was your presentation clear? And finally, was your answer accurate? If you can tick all 4 of those boxes for every single answer, you are well on your way to scoring over 90%. And finally, let's just quickly run through the things you absolutely want to avoid. These are the common mistakes that cost students marks. Don't write those long, rambling paragraphs. Never skip your steps in math. Always take that extra 2 seconds to underline your keywords, and please make sure every diagram is neat and clearly labeled. Just avoiding these few things is half the battle won. So there you have it. The secret's out. The exam isn't some big, scary mystery box. It's a system, and it has a very clear blueprint. All the knowledge, all the strategy, it's in your hands now. The only question left is, how are you going to use it to build your own success story?